Here we are talking about the Union Flite Pro, which is kind of more on their entry-level side. Even though Union doesn't really make, like, their philosophy is just like every binding's a binding that anybody can ride of any level, and there is no entry-level binding. But for lack of a better words, I'm going to call it that. But it's kind of a step up when you it's a step up from the STR, in my opinion. It's got a similar ankle strap and size. Just the STR's ankle strap I like a little better. It's a little more supportive for mountain riding. But this is a good choice for somebody who's into a binding that likes a balance between mountain riding and mountain freestyle riding and park riding. You know, you're starting to kind of step up from the STR in a few tech points. Like, you know, you get 3 holes here to rotate the high backs, but even if you don't want to do that, you don't really have to that much, because this high back is really good this way. You can only bend it back a little bit this way, so the heel to toe response is definitely an improvement over the STR, and just a little behind the Scotty Stevens, or the Contact. And, you know, just a touch further behind after the Contact Pro. But, you know, you've got that nice balance between freedom of movement and support, and you've got a little more edge-to-edge transitioning than the STR, and a little more butterability than the STR. I don't know why the plates seem very similar. You know, you see the Contact there, but it seems like there's just a little less contact with the board on the Flite Pro than the STR, or maybe there's the same contact, but maybe there's just better butterability. I tried all these bindings today with the LibTech TRS, and which was hard snow, so that's my hard snow specialist, so that's the board I took out. And I've got to say, yeah, I definitely, even though I like the ankle strap better on the STR, and I like that flip top on the STR, I felt like I liked the Flite Pro a little better. So if you are looking at a low-cost binding, and you're looking at the STR or the Flite Pro, if you can swing the Flite Pro, I'd probably go that way. I'm not even sure of the price points, but I'm assuming this is a little more expensive. You know, one thing I wish they had, toolless adjustability like they do when you step up to the Union Contact. That's kind of like a really nice bonus. But you've got all this kind of adjustability here. You can move this in when it's on the board. You can move this up and back, and it's great if you're a little off. Maybe you can fix it yourself. Man, another diesel, another ambulance here to pick up another injured skier or snowboarder. Real bummer. I used to love this high back on the Contact Pro, and it's evolved to this now. But I love that they passed it down and it's staying alive in Union's line. The ratchets on this feel like they're just right there with a highest end Union binding I've tried, so that's really great. You know, maybe they're a touch less smooth, but they're still super smooth. They're easy on, and they grip well when they're on, so that's all you can ask for from a binding, really. And you've got an adjustable toe ramp. I don't know if you can see here, but you've got this little screw release, so you can pull this out. You have 3 points to adjust here. You have heel loop adjustability, and you have high back rotation. It's the adjustability is top notch with these, and it's really hard to fault them, because you really can dial these out to fit perfect for your boots. The one thing I've noticed a little bit is when you use this inside part for the high back rotation, you can rotate your high backs 2 ways with Union bindings. First way is you can rotate the heel loop like I did, because I'm lazy, and I put it in, and you know, here's the thing though, with Union bindings, they twist pretty well, so it's not 100% necessary to rotate your high backs to get them in line with your heel side edge. and get a little more response, because they do twist pretty well without causing too much calf bite. But if you want to be like me and get super anal, you can either unscrew these, which is a little bit of an endeavor, and rotate them, or you can just slide one side of the heel loop in like I did, and I found that it's pretty close to what I want when it comes to high back rotation and the fit of my boot. And I just slide this all the way in, and I'm pretty centered on board for most of the boards that I ride. So anyways, I think it's a very good binding for the price point. I love these discs because you can slide all the way around. You have a lot more adjustability when it comes to stance width than you do from most bindings. A lot of bindings just have like 3 little holes that you slide each way, or a stopping point in the middle. This way you can put them together close, like you could a mini disc, and use the 2 nearest bindings and center them and get a little easier flex underfoot. Or you can do them wide like a traditional binding, and I like that. So all in all, the Union Flite Pro is a good binding. I mean, when you start to kind of ramp up against the contact, the Scott Stevens contact, you really start to see, okay, yes, this is better when it comes to buttering. This has a little bit more response, just a touch, I feel. And, you know, it's got this like, it's not Vaporlight tech, but it's very similar to it. And the Vaporlight tech is kind of what's on the Contact Pro. But you'll see, like, disc size, you're really looking at a much smaller disc. You've got a lot less contact on board, and a lot more foam and a lot more butterability. It's kind of right there with like the Burton Genesis in terms of flex underfoot. It's really close. So you're getting, the only difference I really see is, you can see here is the ankle strap size. Let me do it this way. The ankle strap size. You're getting just, it feels like just a little bit more ankle strap, just a touch with the Union Flite Pro, and a little bit more support than you do with the Contact. So yeah, if you want a little more response, a little more butterability, and you can afford this, I would definitely go this way. But this is a great binding for the price point, and I'm pretty impressed with the Flite Pro. So there you have it.